Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. The widespread utilization of social media platforms has made it easier than ever before to get your music in front of the masses without a PR team robbing you of your hard-earned coin. Social media has become an essential tool for artists to grow their fan base, promote their work, and build their brand. But it's not all peaches and cream. The internet in 2023 is a completely different game than the internet we were first introduced to back when YouTube and Instagram were still in their early stages. And based off of posts I've been seeing online lately, it got me thinking, does social media really change how we view and appreciate music? Undoubtedly, it does have at least some influence on how we respond to the music that artists put out. But after some research and heavy observation, I realized the relationship between social media and music is more complex than I thought. By far, the most loaded take I've heard on this topic is that the necessity to catch the attention of an audience pulls away from the making of the art itself. And to some extent, this is true. In today's age, great music is nothing without a persona behind it. And that persona can be anything, whether it's portraying an image of arrogance, a smooth lover boy, or even just expressing your internal sadness. Creating a unique and appealing image has always been an aspect that holds a lot of weight in terms of success as a music artist, but now it's more crucial than ever. Some artists go out of their way to create a facade, and for some, it's nothing more than an extension of their true personality. But whatever that image is, your audience needs to resonate with it. By not catering to those pieces beyond the music, all you're doing is restricting how far your career can go. If you were to sit in your room all day making tracks that could start a forest fire and then upload a low-quality 140p video to YouTube, good luck finding people to listen. The creation of the music itself is still an important factor, but the truth is, a strong image and decent music can take you much further than amazing music and lack of an image. The internet has brought forth the necessity to not only make good music, but to also find different avenues that make it as engaging and relatable as possible for your audience. Has social media actually made the art of making music obsolete? Not at all. But it does now require artists who are serious about their career to exploit untapped angles in order to allure the attention of an audience. For my viewers that watch my takes on progressive guitar music, we've been seeing this more and more as guitarists are forced to showcase their extravagant abilities within the few seconds they have to pull in the viewer. But we'll speak more on that in a second. Now, whether you love or hate the fact that you have to find fresh ways to attract an audience, social media has created something far worse than that. And the best way for me to describe it is the era of comparison. The internet, along with social media, have made an overwhelming abundance of content accessible at our fingertips within a matter of seconds. While there's tons out there to draw inspiration from, you can just as easily begin comparing yourself to others. Being able to consume content of such variety from so many people from so many different places is the greatest asset social media has to offer. But it's arguably the worst thing you can do as a human, or a creative especially. Overconsumption has many drawbacks, but in this sense, it can lead to you feeling like you're not doing enough or that you're behind everyone else.
Oh, I've wasted my life.
Comparison is the root of many evils. It's the slayer of motivation, the fuel for depression, and sometimes even what kills your dreams. Becoming too caught up with how you rank compared to other artists or musicians is the quickest way to end your career before it even truly starts. The best thing to do is to look at internet growth and success as a game. That's exactly what it is, and you should treat it as such. With every game you play, there are going to be winners and losers. But what's special about being an artist is that you haven't lost until you believe that you have lost. Music is not a sport. There aren't a finite number of spots on the team that you are competing for. And even if you make a similar style of music as someone else, there are an infinite number of ways to make your sound original to you. You just have to find them. Comparison is a part of human nature, since we use relativity to understand the world around us. We can only say something is good if we compare it to something that we think is bad. Similarly, when you say something like, I had a great day today, what you're implying is that your day was great in comparison to other days that may not have been as good or maybe even bad. There's nothing wrong with using comparisons as a way of measuring or describing things, but be careful not to compare your own work as an artist to others, because everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Do not believe you're comparing apples to apples when you're actually just comparing an orange to a pear. As long as you are doing things to the best of your ability and working towards what you want, then comparisons are entirely irrelevant. You now know you shouldn't compare your art to someone else's, but there are objective metrics that you should compare if you want to maximize your efforts. Earlier I mentioned how some of today's most popular guitarists focus on cramming as many sounds as they can into a 30-second video. And while adding everything under the kitchen sink may not translate to a good song, it does directly correlate to gaining attention. And guess what you need in order to have a successful music career? Attention. People have so many options when it comes to how they spend their time on the internet, and for the casual scroller, if you're uploading a potato quality video, regardless of how good your music is, 9 times out of 10 you will not catch their attention. Views are king, and not only do people need to see your content, they need to be looking for it and have a desire to consume it, if you want to be successful, that is. And because of this, it is in your best interest to reel in their attention to the best of your abilities, of course without sacrificing your image. To be honest with you, fishing for audience retention is my least favorite part about being a creative. And from what I've seen across the internet, that seems to be a pretty common consensus. But unfortunately, you have to either roll with the times or get left behind. Now, there are many factors contributing to today's overall decline in attention spans, but one of the biggest and most notable ones, TikTok. With anything you want being just a click away, it was inevitable that things were going to happen quicker in order to continue to hold our attention. But TikTok has surely sped up that process. And TikTok alone has had an incredible impact on the entire music industry as a whole. Navigating short attention spans is nothing new, as they've been slowly declining over time. But due to TikTok, all you need is 15 seconds of a catchy, well-marketed song to start seeing some numbers. It wouldn't be a good idea to only focus on 15 seconds of your 2.5-minute track, but study what's doing well so you can put your efforts towards the areas that are going to benefit you the most. And honestly, if you're solely focusing on blowing up your song on TikTok, best of luck to you maintaining that relevancy, because you're better off just throwing in the towel now. As others are finding better ways to hold the attention of audiences, you need to take notes if you want a slice of that pie. The old saying, save the best for last, is no longer applicable, so make sure you're not focusing on outdated tactics. Social media is a free marketing tool that you have complete control over if you want to shine a light on your artistry. There may be negatives that come with it, but there are just as many positives if you choose to leverage them. Anyone can do it, and in that exact same way, anyone can make it. The game is rapidly changing, so be strategic and take advantage of those back roads that others aren't. There are tons of artists whose music gets lost in the noise, so be loud enough so that yours doesn't. If being a music artist is the path you choose to take, understand that it's a marathon, and by simply staying in the game, you'll make it light years ahead of those that choose to sprint. And if you possess a real passion for making music, don't let that fire die, because that love for the art will force you to continuously shift your approach and do whatever's necessary. Be smart and turn the lemons of social media into the lemonade that helps you succeed. Best of luck. I'm rooting for you.